Hi everyone, my name is Wojtek Bańbuła and this is Volleyball Performance Project. My guest today is Mark Lebedew, a head coach of Zawiercie and head coach also of Australian national team. First of all, congratulations because of playoff.
It's not fixed yet, but the last victory makes us very close, and so one more probably, and we can't be sure, but thank you.
So my first question is, you was first time in Plusliga in 2007-2008. How Plusliga has changed in this time?
The first thing is that there are more teams now. When I first came to Plusliga was only 10 teams, 8 teams in the playoffs, which 8 teams from 10 is a lot of teams, but 6 teams from 14 is not enough, but that's another story. The level of professionalism, I think, around the league has improved. When I was first in Poland, so 12 years ago, there was only 2 foreign coaches, which is a point of issue in Polish volleyball right now, and now, of course, that percentage has changed a little bit.
Up and down.
Yeah, up and down. Maybe the number of Polish coaches is the same, but the percentage is different. I think in 2007, nearly all of the top Polish players were playing in the Polish league, and maybe that's changed also a little bit.
You are a coach who gives his players a lot of freedom. Do you explain them what is your philosophy about in this direction in the beginning of season, and what you expect from them?
I don't tend to explain things exactly. I'm not the coach that sits down and with the whiteboard and say these are the things and this is why. The way that I like to work is or to explain is by showing. So it's about how we go about practice every day, how we work in practice. Sometimes it takes some time for the players to understand. They are looking for. Sometimes they're looking for instructions. What do I have to do right now? I need you to tell me what to do. So it can be difficult in that way for some people at the beginning. But mostly the way that I try to do it is by showing and by doing. So I don't like to tell too much.
Oh, what do you think? What is the next step to make volleyball more professional? What should change from coach side, club side, league side, also player side?
Everything.
Thank you. Next.
The biggest thing that I think is missing in volleyball in this context is the expectation. So I think that volleyball people and the people around volleyball, to begin with, they have low expectations of what they can do, what's possible. They always feel that there are restrictions. We don't have money, we don't have sponsors, we don't have this. Instead of working the opposite direction, so this is where I want to go, how do I get the money, how do I get the sponsors, how do I have to work? And maybe this is unfair a little bit, but for me it starts with the expectations of what you want to do.
So here we come more to my side and on my part. What, in your opinion, how important, in your opinion, is athletic preparation in volleyball? And do you believe that because of that, athletic preparation can make a difference?
I think that athletic preparation is really important part of volleyball, of preparing the team. The most important part is the maintaining, especially the maintaining, but at the same time improving the players' physical condition to be able to play volleyball. So the first focus, the first priority is always playing volleyball, and the athletic training, the athletic performance is to build into that part of it. So it's really common for the coach and the physical coach to work in two different ways. That the physical coach says, this is my program, and I do my program. The head coach says, this is my program, I do my program. But the two parts have to be coordinated and work together so that the players are able to practice, they are able to play, so they are not injured, and especially the injuries that happen in this room are the worst kind of injuries because they are absolutely avoidable.
And are you satisfied of athletic level in players of Plus Liga? And what do you think about the young players that just come to Plus Liga? Are they prepared well?
I feel that the young players I work with, the young Polish players, they all have a good level. It's a little bit difficult to talk about all of the teams in the league. For sure, the players in the league are physically strong. They can spike, they can jump. So in this part of it, absolutely, they are physically ready for the level. I wonder from a distance and without information about the number of injuries that happen during the course of the season, and I wonder often if there is a way to avoid these injuries. I always feel like injuries are nearly all injuries are avoidable. There are some mistake in the practice, there are some mistake in the weight training. The lack of coordination between the physical coach and the head coach. So whenever I see some injuries that I think are preventable, then I wonder what is going on.
And do you have some favorite system of athletic preparation, or you think that some part is especially important and we can skip some part because this is not for volleyball?
I think the absolutely vital, most important part that you have to begin at the start of the preparation and continue all the way through the season is the prevention work, the prevention exercises.
Because you was also athletic coach, and or many seasons you were responsible for athletic preparation of your team. So how you understand this prevention work? Because for me, the best prevention system is to focus about strength. If you are strong, then you are more or less safe.
I don't want to be more or less safe. I want to be absolutely safe. The type of work that I think is important. This prevention work is the specific work that protects the joints. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking about the work around the knee joint, the coordination of the musculature, the work of the VMO, the work of the glutes for jumping and landing, the coordination of the muscles around the shoulder, the strength of the core that protects the back. So these are the basic exercises. And this is not from my personal work as a physical coach, because I have some basic understanding, but the level that I worked at was the sort of minimum level. But over the years I worked, especially the years in Berlin, we had full-time physio with a doctor that was very close, working with a rehabilitation center, and we developed this kind of philosophy, I guess, of working with prevention. The strength, you need to have strength to be able to physically compete, of course, but if you are not playing, it doesn't matter how strong you are.
You have worked with many athletic coaches in your coach career, and every athletic coach has a different point of view about, or different style, different point of view. What should they focus? What do you think about this? You have some favorite system that you should follow, or do you talk with your athletic coach when you prepare practice or something? What I want to do today, what you should do, or what you want to do? Do you listen to him sometimes?
I listen to him sometimes. No, sometimes I listen to him.
3 days.
I want to. What's one really important part of the programming is not the program, it's the programming, is the timing of the work during the week. I think that, and probably you will disagree with this, but I think that the timing of the work in the season is more important than what the work that you do is. So within some general area, I don't think that the exercises are decisive. I'll put it that way. The exercises that you choose, I don't think that if you do one-legged squats or back squats or front squats, it really makes a big difference overall. What I think makes a really big difference is when you do the weights in the week. When you do it, if you have a long week, how you organize it, the general intensity of the work in the first part, the general intensity in the second part, how close you work to the games, the capacity to have some individual flexibility for the players. Some players have different regeneration from weight training, so that you can build this into the program. Also, in some years, for example, I had not voluntary sessions, but they could choose which day that they did the weights. Okay, we will do weights on Thursday or Friday, and you can choose the day that's best for your regeneration.
This is great. This is true because, like you said, many players regenerate in different way, and some of them like to do weights close to the game. Like when I talked with Bartek Kurek, he said that in final day of World Championship, in the morning he do full session of weights.
Yeah.
Wow. And there are players that can do it 3 days before, and then after 3 days they can feel good.
It's every player has a slightly different regeneration from any kind of work. So different, depends on the muscle fiber types and the neurological system and the level of the player. Higher level players recover faster because they have less stress to perform. Players of a low level who are always close to their maximum, takes them longer to recover from some work because there's a strong psychological component to stress and recovery also. The one thing that I don't think that you need to have in any volleyball conditioning program is aerobic conditioning, running or anything like that.
Are there some differences between Australian idea about athletic preparation and what you can see in Poland?
I can't really talk as an Australian anymore because I have worked and lived in Europe for more than 15 years. In Australia, we have a very strong culture of strength and conditioning, of physical coaches. Maybe something aligned to the US model, the US idea, but we don't have professional volleyball in Australia, so we don't have physical coaches, strength and conditioning coaches for volleyball. So I can't talk about this.
Is it important for you that your athletic coach has some volleyball past, or if he is just good, he can come from football, basketball, swimming, I don't know?
I think that if you are good, you are good. And if you are good, you will learn some important factors, some important parts. What's really important for the physical coach, I think, is communication skills. I think even more than the head coach, the physical coach has to have a good relationship with the players and good understanding with the players to make the small changes in the individual changes in the program. that the players have the ability to change some small things from day to day to prevent injuries, to minimise pain. That's a really important part for me. And I think that I've really started to understand only even in the last couple of years the importance of the relationship between the physical coach and the physio, and that these guys need to have a really close relationship, much more important than, in some sense, the relationship between me and the physical coach.
And what do you think about test? Is it important, or because when we want to judge some program, if it works or not, okay, you can do it in the end of season, following number of injury or place in the league in the end. But this is not only athletic preparation. I think athletic preparation here is small percent. So from another side, during the season, it's hard to push guys to do some tests, because test is always some effort, right? So what do you think about this? How to control this process?
I think that it's very difficult to make a quantitative control, the test. I'm not sure. I studied sport, and when I was a player, we did a lot of the testing, and I always loved the tests and the numbers and the figures. But the longer I'm a coach, the less I understand the relationship between the numbers of the test and the performance in the game. So if it's an extra stress for the players and I don't really understand the connection, then I don't think personally that it's a really big value. For me, the number one thing is the injury days. So if we have, if the program is working, if the program is good, then the first thing is we'll have a really low number of injury days lost. So this is the first part. And then afterwards is some kind of qualitative understanding of the general program. What's the fatigue level? How are the guys traveling? How do they feel from day to day? More than are they getting stronger?
And how important is for players off-season? What is your advice for them for this time, especially when they are not with national team and they have holidays for 3-4 months?
This is a really big problem in volleyball, in professional volleyball. We always talk about the stress on the big players, that they never have any holidays. But on the other side, the players that are just out of the national team have only holidays. They have 4 months where they are on the beach drinking beer, which is a nice life, but not good preparation, maybe. It's important in this time that they do some work, and they have a small amount of complete rest, but then they have to be doing some work. There is some really good research from Australia, I think, or I got it from Australia, that there's an increased risk of injury after a break that's equal to the time is double the time that you have the break. So if you have 1 week free, you have an increased injury risk for 2 weeks when you return to practice. So if you do 4 months without any work, you basically have an injury risk for the whole season. So this is important for the players to think about when they are drinking beer.
And what is your advice for young volleyball coaches that just start his work in professional volleyball? What's your advice?
My advice for all coaches is to always ask why. Always ask why. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And don't be bothered when the person that you ask why is pissed off, because they will be pissed off. But you have to understand why, and this is the most important question that you need to answer.
It's usually suggestion that you do something wrong, yeah? This is what you want to say in second part of this conversation. When you, after a question, when you ask why you do it, there is hidden words that there is no sense you do it.
But it doesn't have to be like this. This is the understanding. If somebody asks me why, I can just tell them why I do it. Now then we can have a discussion about if this is the right thing or the wrong thing. Why do you do it this way and not this way? And if you ask me, firstly, I have no problems with this because I ask everybody. But secondly, I have the philosophy always that if I can't answer this question very well, then probably I don't have a good reason for doing it. So I need to consider my own work. So for me, this works in both ways. I'm not challenged if somebody asks me why, because I'm confident that I have a good answer. If I don't have a good answer, then I need to be challenged, and then I can be better at my work.
Well, this is all. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me.
Thank you, Wojtek.
And good luck in playoff.
Good luck with everything.